Welcome back to 5 Minute Mysteries at Patterson Library. So last week's mystery was the case of the suspicious fire. And the question was, how does Stanwyck know that James is lying? The answer is, Walker noticed that James had brown hair, which matched the beard of the man seen nearby. A man with dark hair and a smooth face at 3 in the morning must have shaved recently, which James would not have stopped to do had he thrown on some clothes and rushed to the scene. The police and arson squad investigation revealed that James was indeed the bearded man. He had shaved to get a closer fit for his false beard. After removing the panel and fraying some wires to start the fire, he had walked to his car a few blocks away and driven to a bar where he checked his message by phone until he found the message left by Henning. He then removed his beard and changed his clothes in his car, carefully washing the beard glue from his face with a solvent before timing his arrival at the fire. This week's mystery is called Some Trouble at Harrigan's. When Thomas P. Stanwyck, the amateur logician, stepped into Harrigan's hardware store in Baskerville shortly after 8 one morning, he found its calm routine disrupted. Harrigan was placing the store in agitation, his face flushed, almost as red as his handlebar mustache. Bob Lassiter, the senior shop clerk, and Fred Barrows, the junior assistant, stood nearby, pale and nervous. "I'm sorry, Mr. Stanwyck," said Harrigan, coming up to him, "but we just can't help you right now. We've been robbed and the police are on the way." Stanwyck raised his eyes. "Really? When? Just now?" "Last night," Harrigan turned to Lassiter. "Everything was all right when you closed up last night, wasn't it, Bob?" "Yes, sir," Lassiter replied. "I closed up at 7. Nothing unusual." "What happened this morning?" asked Stanwyck. "Bob and I unlocked and opened the store about half an hour ago," said Barrows. "When I turned on the register, Bob went to the office and back. He clicked on the light and then kind of froze in the doorway and called out to me that the safe had been opened and the cash tray was gone. I went to check around the rest of the store when he came back and called Mr. Harrigan, who wasn't due for another hour. I found the back door to the storage room forced open, but nothing seemed to be missing except the cash tray from the office safe. It had about $600. "That's right," interrupted Harrigan. "I came right over after Bob called, checked the place myself, and then called the police. That was just a few minutes ago." "I guess I can buy my wrench later. I have a police pass," said Stanwyck, opening his wallet to show it. "Do you mind if I have a look around? I won't disturb anything." "Certainly, go ahead." Harrigan cleared his throat and resumed his pacing. Stanwyck strode to the office and looked in. A large, shabby desk dominated the center of the room. The gray metal cabinets and dusty shelves along the walls were covered with parts manuals, papers, and odd bolts and bits. To the right of the door, facing the desk, stood a 3-foot-high safe. Stanwyck walked to the desk, examined it quickly, and then went to the safe. Its door was swung partly open to his right, and its aged paddock, jimmied open, lay on the floor for him. Inside the safe were 2 compartments, the bottom still full of papers, and the top, which had held the cash tray, now empty. Touching nothing, Stanwyck left the office and entered the back storage room. Skirting several crates and lawnmowers, he approached and examined the back door, which was also partly open. The simple lock had been forced, and the surrounding wood was cracked. Stanwyck quickly returned to the front of the shop. "Most interesting," he remarked to no one in particular. "I think I hear the police arriving," said Harrigan. "Excellent," said Stanwyck. "When the officer comes in," he continued, suddenly turning to Lassiter, "I hope you will tell him the truth. You committed this theft yourself." So why did Stanwyck suspect Lassiter of the theft? Let you know next week.